Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be working on putting a low C spur gear in the Kaiju. I've tried several and this one is by far the easiest one to modify. You only need the spur gear, which is part number LOSA 3556, and a small 1/4 inch washer that is about a mil thick. I think it was like 0.91 mils or something like that. I do also was a 8 by 19 by 6 bearing, and I'll put links in the description below. Screws, you got 4 2 mil short screws here, 2 long 2 mil screws, and then you got 4 2.5 mil. Got this one here, and this one here, and then these two. Remember the ones on the top here and there are longer, and the ones that go down are shorter. And of course the two on the body mount. Okay, after you get your 4 screws pulled out of here, I didn't videotape that part, but there's just 4 screws you take off around there, and then I take my diff and I kind of set it like that, because otherwise it'll push the gears out and you'll have oil all over. I did change this oil. I run a 100 in the center, 100 in the front, and then I run 60 in the rear. Okay, after we get those screws out, all we got to do is pull this gear off of here. There we go. So it just pulls off, and then there's a pin in there, and then there's also a washer. That out. Drive cup, and I'll just leave the bearing on there because I don't need that, because I'm going to be using a new bearing. And it's hard to see, but there is an O-ring in here. There we go. And before I put this in, I'm going to clean all these up, make sure, and clean that out. I clean the diff out completely in there, and then I put my new fluid in there. I don't know what stock is, but I'm pretty sure it's 100. It seems the exact same thickness. Could be off by a little bit, but I'm pretty sure that's what they put in there is the 60 or 100. So I'm going to clean those off real quick, and we'll get you back on. Okay, I got the new spur on there. I got the pin in, but what I found, even with the 6mm bearing, you see there I had to use a very small washer. I believe that is like right about 1 mil thick, and it's got a 1/4 inch hole in it. And now it all fits in there just right. So now I'm going to put the gear back on, put the gasket on. That on there, and then my gasket did rip a little bit. You want to keep an eye on that. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put a little bit of small bit of silicone, RTV silicone on, in just very little bit, just to make sure it doesn't leak, because I did the other one and I didn't do that, and some of the diff fluid was actually coming out through the screw holes. When changing the spur gear, the first thing you got to do, it's kind of hard to see because I already cut them off, but if you look real close you can kind of see where they were. There's little pegs you have to cut off that actually go into those holes on the stock spur, and what those are is they're just alignment pins, so they really don't need to be in there. Okay, there we go, got it all put back together. Screws fit in there real nice, everything lined up, so the only thing you need is a 8x19 8x19 by 6 bearing, and then just a 1 mil 1/4 inch washer, 1 mil thick, and then she's ready to go. What I wanted to show you guys too is what I do to keep the dirt out of here. You can see it's pretty clean. First thing, most of the dirt gets in there from your strap for your battery, and that hole goes all the way through to the inside, so the dirt just pours in here. And then on the plate here, I put these in because there's nothing to stop any dirt that does get in here from going in there. And I just lightly put a little grease on there to help them make sure they keep the dirt out and seal to the plate on the bottom, or when it's put on. And then I grease around here on the plastic, and then all the way around through here, which is the whole spur area right here. And I mean just a little bit, like I just take a little on my finger. And something kind of like that, just super lightly put some grease all the way around this area here. Putting it together, same as taking it apart. You got 4 short screws, 2mm hex, 2 longer ones, and you got 2 longer 2 mils here, and then you got 4 2.5 mils on there. And then you have 2 4 mils here, and then there is 2 4 mils here, one there, one there, and then of course the shock tower bolts that the body mount goes through, and those are 2 mils. And she fits right in. There's no slot back and forth. We are good to go. I have to adjust my mesh though, because I put a 11 tooth Techno gear. Here's the part number for the gear I used. And yeah, so we'll be geared 1 tooth higher, and I wanted to do that for 4S. Got this piece here. And I got this piece here, so there's 2 screws on this one, 2 2mm screws on that one. And then once we get that on, we just gotta slide her back together. So I also wanted to point out the screws that go on top. There is 2 different lengths. These ones, the shorter ones, go in there, and then the longer ones go in the back, because they actually screw all the way through into the wheelie bar back here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to adjust the mesh. I know there's some people that don't know how to do it, and I had been asked. So you look in here, normally there's a screw in there to adjust the mesh from standard. You can't have that in there, so you just got to pull that out. And then what you do, normally you have a long screw with a nut on there. I actually took that off. I put a regular screw because it had come loose on me a couple times. And then in that hole where that piece of metal they put in there goes, I put a 2 mil lock nut in there. So that way now, since I've done that, I did not have that come loose on me. So all we gotta do is loosen this, And pop our cover off with this screw here. Get our mesh right. Tighten that up and put the cover back on and you're good to go. Alright, I think that's all we got for inside. I'm going to take a rip with it real quick and then we'll see, make sure it sounds and drives good.